The Interfaith Dialogue Forum for Peace has enjoined Nigeria's youth to defend peace to ensure sustainable development of the country. Bishop Sunday Onoha, chairman of IDFP, who gave the advice during a press conference in Abuja, noted that the circulation of destructive audio and video messages would only cause more tension and violence in the country.
We have witnessed the misapplication of both the mainstream and other social media platforms that have been used to further polarize the NSAS protests on ethnic, religious, and regional basis. We are calling on all our religious leaders to collectively debunk such negative utterances by teaching and educating their members on the need to be tolerant of each other, which is fundamental to preventing the miscreants from taking undue advantage of the situation, thereby escalating violence and rancor in the country. We have noticed the circulation of destructive audio and video messages to further cause more tension and violence in the country. And we call on Nigerians to stand up to defend the peace of Nigeria, which is paramount for sustainable development in the country.
Onoha also called on governments to address the need for reforms across sectors in the country.
We join the voices of reason to condemn the killings and to state clearly that the shootings, attacks, and setting ablaze of properties at these places were uncalled for and cannot be justified. We join other Nigerians in supporting the setting up of judicial panel of inquiry to investigate complaints of police brutality, extrajudicial killings in the country, hoping that justice for all victims will be fully addressed so as to douse the high level of tension. We frown at the actions of miscreants and thugs that infringe on the fundamental human rights of Nigerian youth to peaceful protest in and around the country, attacking, killing, burning, and looting of both public and private properties, and destruction of sacred places of worship from our faith tradition have no justification and stand to be condemned in its entirety. We are using this medium to call on the government to listen to the cries and agitation of protesters by addressing the needs for reforms which cut across many sectors in the country. We are also calling on our youth to exercise restraint in their reactions in the larger interest of the Nigerian society.
Onoha, who condemned the alleged shootings of peaceful protesters as a blatant affront on fundamental rights to freedom of expression and association, urged government to take the necessary action to prosecute offenders.
Share our deepest thoughts, pains, and prayers with the families that have lost their loved ones during and after the peaceful protest. Finally, we would also like to remind the youths, as the backbone of our nation, to imbibe the culture of dialogue that avails us the opportunity to actualize our demands. The truth remains that we cannot fulfill our aspiration in an atmosphere of violence and lawlessness. We call on all the youths, wherever they may be residing, to stand down and cease all further public agitation by allowing the government to meet their demands. They should also not be a party to any act of lawlessness and destruction of public and private properties. They should not allow themselves to be used as agents that incite unrest anywhere in and around the country.